How's everybody doing? If you've seen my Twitter, did you see my toe on my Twitter page?
Your toe? No, I did not catch that.
Yeah, I dropped a tank on it cleaning yesterday, so it's like 3 times the size of a normal toe.
Oh my god, I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, it's swollen. It's like bruised way underneath. I don't know. Maybe it's just like really badly bruised, but I think it's broken. I'm gonna go later to the doctor, but I'm telling everybody I did it when saving a last second shot in my championship game on the pitch there. So it sounds a little better, but it is what it is. I think we got some guys. I think I don't know how you did. I hit a bunch of parlays last week, so I just get these. I'm real streaky with parlays. I hit everything basically: basketball, soccer, all kinds of stuff. Just that Basel game thing. But how'd you do over the weekend?
Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend. I mean, I went 2-0 on Saturday with Premier League, but I went 0-2 yesterday. A lot of high scoring games, but other sports I was killing it. I went 5-1 between college football and NFL over the weekend, so can't complain. That's for sure.
Anybody have Nottingham Forest at plus 800 in
that? Oh man, you can't compete with Nottingham Forest. Like you can't. They're the best in the Premier League by far. You just can't compete.
I had Erling Haaland to score 2 goals. I had him to score a bunch of different things. I needed him to score one more. I would have won like a ton, but I thought, as a Manchester United fan, I thought they played really well. I thought they dominated that game. They just need a number 9. There's talk about Jonathan David coming in January, which would be big for the Canadian people. They get him on there. They just need a 9. I think, if they had somebody they could score, they'd be a lot better off than where they are. But I just always think that's a problem for them and Chelsea. I just never know where the goal is going to come from for Chelsea. Obviously Jorginho and Casemiro, the 2 defensive midfielders, scored the goals. But when you look at some of these games, obviously Chelsea, I started to look at these lines on Tuesday in the Champions League for Chelsea, and they're minus. That line's come down even further. They're minus 136 against Salzburg. I just don't know where the goal's coming from.
Yeah, I don't. That one's a very interesting match, especially with Salzburg too. Like, I don't care what anybody says; they can sit atop their table in Austria all they want. They are not the best team in Austria because, they're at the top of the league right now with all the beating up on all these bad teams. But when push comes to shove, they don't beat the good teams in their league. They're coming off another 0-0 draw against Sturm Graz over the weekend. They had a 1-1 draw with Lask Linz in their in one of their home match before that. So it's a team that's actually played more defensively at home. They already have the draw in Chelsea, and this is a big group. This is like a big game for the group right now.
2 big games. Those 2 early games are both because Sevilla Copenhagen. That's actually also a big game.
That's a huge match because both those teams are tied with 2 points, and if Copenhagen gets a result here, they might kick Sevilla right out and take that Europa spot because their last match is going to be against Dortmund, while Sevilla is going to have to go into Manchester City. I know City's probably going to be resting players by then, but their bench squad could beat Sevilla at home. So, if I'm Sevilla, I'm really worried right now. You have to beat Copenhagen in this match if you want to see Europa League.
It's interesting, though, too, because, if Sevilla does win and City wins today, City wins the group. So, maybe they play young. Maybe they get some young kids a chance right before the World Cup. Maybe he sits some guys out. And now Dortmund has to be worried that Sevilla is going to go win that game. But you know what? Dortmund, if all Dortmund has to do is beat Copenhagen. So, this match doesn't really matter tomorrow. It does, but, if they beat Copenhagen, they're through. So, there's a lot of these big matches. Your team has a huge match.
Yeah, either team that wins that one could see themselves in second place. Like, it's crazy how close that group is.
Yeah, look, if Salzburg wins, if Salzburg can get a result somehow, even a draw, they're on 7, Chelsea's on 8, Milan gets a win, they're on 7. Obviously Zagreb, if they get a result, Chelsea's got to play Zagreb, Milan's got to play Salzburg, so Milan could be head to head with Salzburg at home for that. So either way, I guess Salzburg. Well, either way, I mean, if Milan wins today, even if Salzburg wins head to head, they win, they go through. So if Milan wins their next 2, they're through. So that's interesting stuff.
I think they're gonna have to come to play. This might be one of those spots. I'm not touching it because screw my team, but this might be one of those where they have to come to play, and they might just actually blow them out. Who knows?
Foxy hit a couple parlays this weekend, including Basel.
What is wrong with you, man? Like, how can you just
the Newcastle game?
What are you, a masochist? You just have to keep going back to the torture.
Crazy stuff. The other thing, just at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see we're gonna have some news about a new new show, maybe a little bit longer, coming up. I'm not sure what the times are gonna be. Maybe it might be in place of this. It might be on top of this. I'm not sure. We'll know. I'll know a little bit more. But yeah, there's going to be some interesting stuff. There's some games today. The first one is West Ham plays Bournemouth. I think that's the main game to look at. Vigo plays Getafe. These games are really bad in Serie A. I tried to find a game to bet today, and
it's hard.
It's very, very difficult to do.
Those 2 Italian games are interesting to me because Cremonese, they're bad. Both these 2 teams are basically at the bottom of the table in Italy. But Cremonese, they really beat up on bad teams every time they've had to play a Serie B team in the Cup or something like that. Like, they score 4, 5 goals, 6 goals. So they're really good. They're at home. But, this Sampdoria team is interesting to me because you can kind of see what's been happening. Like, this is their worst season in a while. It was starting to happen last year when they finished bottom 5 of the table, 15th. But the problem I find for this Sampdoria team is for so many years it was Gabbiadini and Quagliarella. That was their whole offense. And now, both those guys are getting older. Quagliarella's 39 years old, so he's on the bench now. He's not starting anymore. But in those games where he's not starting, that's when they're really going down. They have no chemistry on the offense. They can't score goals. And even Gabbiadini himself, he's 30 years old, and he can't get it done for himself. And interestingly enough, in their last match, so there was a match they lost where they subbed Gabbiadini out for Quagliarella, still couldn't do anything. Their next match after that, they took somebody else. They took the guy in the midfield beside Gabbiadini out, put Quagliarella beside him. All of a sudden, they scored the tying goal 10 minutes after he came on. So it's just an interesting game to me because Sampdoria is actually playing a lot better. They just hired a new manager. This is the guy that managed Cervina Zvezda and was fired after they got kicked out of Champions League by Maccabi Haifa. So, but in 3 matches with them so far, they have 1 draw. They have a very tight 1-0 loss to Roma, I believe it was. And then they have a cup match win. It was a 2-2 draw, win in penalties. They won the cup match. So, interesting. I just find it's an interesting game. Sampdoria might be a team that gets better going forward. So, I don't know.
Foxy likes Besiktas today. You know what? I looked at you know what? I don't Besiktas. I have him at -159. He has him at -140-ish. So, you know, I like a little bit today, and I look through it. Sassuolo against Hellas Verona. Hellas Verona's been terrible. I I think Hellas Verona has they got 4 players out.
My Kevin Lasagna.
Diego Cabullo, Josh Doig, Ivan Illich, and Darko Lazovic. The latter will be particularly missed as he previously scored twice against Sassuolo and has been inviting 5 goals. I don't know where they're gonna. Verona has been such bad form; it's hard not to see, but not sure if I'll bet it. Yeah, they're terrible on the road. Says Hellas Verona is terrible on the road. Their form is terrible. You're getting plus money here. Of all the games, it probably offers me the best value today. Like this West Ham Bournemouth game, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that West Ham one either. I agree with you. I would take the shot on Sassuolo today, but it does make me a little weary just because they're going to be missing their captain in this match. He's suspended due to an accumulation of yellow cards, and this is actually their first match in like a long time that he hasn't been on the field for them, and he's a very key defensive player. So I would take the shot on Sassuolo to win, but it wouldn't shock me if Verona scores because that defense could slip up today.
Yeah, the sports mall guy said maybe both teams could score, which I think is.
Yeah, I think Gianmarco Ferrari is a big piece of that defense. He's the captain of the team. That's a big presence to be missing, and it's not like this is going to be his first suspended match with the accumulation of yellow card because he played in their last one, and it's not like they're used to this. It's actually, if you look back, he hasn't missed a match for Sassuolo in a long time, going back to last season.
What time is that game? 2:45. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember somebody on Friday came in, I think, with the both teams to score, asking about that in the Sassuolo match. I think it was Pedro, but that might be the way to go with both teams to score.
He followed me on the weekend. We're gonna try to get him on at some point. Him and the other guy. There's a guy, one of his other buddies from Canada. He's your rival, maybe.
My rival? You mean my rival?
He's a Canadian handicapper from French-speaking Montreal. Yeah. I thought, I was like, wow,
their team lost yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bye Montreal.
What the hell is his name? Yeah, so Pedro kind of followed me on the Twitter there, the bluebird of happiness. He was talking about he's actually pretty good. He won a couple of his games. So I followed some of his stuff, but it's interesting. His timeline is very interesting. If you get a chance, take a look at it.
I will.
Yeah, he's got some interesting things on there. The West Ham game, West Ham should win, but when you start to look at this table. By the way, they came out with the fixtures today for they announced all the TV fixtures for after Christmas. So they moved the United game to 8 o'clock on Tuesday, the 27th, 3 o'clock here. So they got 7:30, 10, 12:30, and 3 on Boxing Day, then 12:30 and 3 on Tuesday, then 3 on Wednesday, and then nothing on Thursday. I can't believe it. Why don't they just move one of these games on Friday to Thursday? West Ham, Brentford. Saturday, a bunch of games. Sunday, January 1st. But they're playing games.
I like that. The MLS schedule.
Yeah. Brighton and Newcastle are playing it on New Year's Eve at, 8 o'clock. So
I like that. The 2 Sunday games followed by the 2 Sunday games followed by the 8 Saturday
That's
games.
crazy, though. You got games on the 26th, 27th, 28th, nothing on the 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. The 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, you have FA Cup games. The 10th and 11th, I think, are the Carabao Cup games. And then the 14th, and they haven't moved those games around. So it'll probably be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, too. So, like, they got just every day they got games. So it's going to be interesting. But, yeah, I mean, you know, other than that today, when you look at the schedule, you know, it's real, you know, Celta Vigo, Getafe, both teams are in the both teams 16th and 18th. You know, they love to put those games in the. They never put any highlight games on those days, Fridays and Mondays. But, you know, Foxy said Besiktas, you know, there's in Portugal, it's Portimonense and Rio Ave. What do you call it's not playing in Romania for some reason?
Cluj, I know.
Not playing. FCSB has a big game this week, Thursday in the Europa League. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, not a lot of stuff here. I don't know. Do you have any? Do you have any of the football or basketball games you're looking at today? No baseball. Everybody got swept.
I love it. I was on the Phillies and the Astros all weekend.
Oh yeah, it's Yankees. Terrible.
Yankees suck, man. They can't beat. They go like 2-9 against the Astros this year.
The Yankees are built for the regular season to beat up on bad teams. You know, they absolutely dominate bad teams, and it's been like this for a few years. Last year they were struggling, and then all of a sudden, you know, in July and August they went like 21-3 against like the bums. But then whenever they got to play anybody decent, you know, it's different. I'll probably take some double chance games from South America today. Yeah. I would
advise. I'm just going to warn you, Foxy. I would advise against Besiktas. I can't say why, but I know some things about Hatayspor from a Turkish friend, and that's not a team I want to bet against at home.
Fortaleza on good form, saw risk winning or drawing versus MG.
Fortaleza's been amazing lately, and considering you're getting like plus 190 at home against an Atletico Mineiro team that hasn't really been great on the road, some value, man. Fortaleza, it's like they really crapped out during the season when they were focusing on Sudamericana or whatever the Cope. I'm not sure which one they were in. It might have been Libertadores, but yeah, it's like ever since they were kicked out of that, they've slowly regained their form, and now that we're in like the last 8 matches of the season or whatever, they're like on a tear right now, trying to get back into one of the 12 South American spots in the table.
It's absolutely ridiculous that they get that. Like, that's the craziest. You're either in Europe relegated, or there's only 4 other spots.
I know, and if you're one of those 4 teams, you're like, all right off of a season.
Yeah, it's crazy. What are you doing?
But that's the thing about the league, right? Like Fortaleza, they were so bad during the regular season, but because of the way the table's designed, they look at it like, hey, 10 matches to go. It doesn't matter. We're in relegation. We can pick ourselves out and get a spot for Sudamericana next year because, you know, 12th place, not that far away.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. Where are they right now? Yeah, they're like they're in 10th, but they're like, you know, they're 3 points. If they win tonight, they go into a Copa Lib spot.
Hold on, do they get a 13th spot because both teams in the Libertadores final are
now they have
Brazilian?
They're now only 14th, 15th, and 16th don't do anything. Yes, they have 13 places.
Yeah, is that an extra Libertadores spot? 5 now, top 5, man. That changes the game for those top teams.
6 and 7 are in the playoffs, so they could have 7 teams in the.
But that's what I mean. That changes the scope because now all these like cusp teams like Fluminense there right now. Like Fluminense went from we're sitting outside the top 4 because this is recent. I think I don't think this was like that like a week or two ago. They must have just done the calculations, but because when we looked at it, it was 12 spots. So that tells me that like now all of a sudden Fluminense is like, hey, we're in a spot. We don't need to jump anybody. Let's just keep our 5th place spot and we're in.
Foxy says, I don't even know if I could bet this game.
Binational and
long shot play Cesar Vallejo to beat Binational at plus 650 in Peru.
It's just some interesting team. What is binational?
I don't know. They play in 2 countries.
Like I was gonna say, like, why not just national, binational? Like, what is it? Got two homes.
Let me see. Find this.
Man, you know what name really bothers me?
Let's go.
Just talking about some of these soccer names. Juventus bugs the crap out of me because there's no J in the Italian alphabet. And, Juventus is based in Turin. I've asked multiple family members and Italians, why the hell is Juventus named Juventus when J is not an alphabet or a letter in the alphabet? And like, I get no response. They're like, I don't know. It's Juventus. I'm like, so what? It's Juventus. Doesn't make sense to me as an Italian.
I'm gonna listen to maybe I'll throw $50. No, I'm gonna put $30 on Cesar Vallejo today.
Cesar Vallejo.
I didn't even know I could bet that league.
What is that? Peru? Is that Premier League for Peru? Premier League?
Yeah, it's a Premier. Yep. That's crazy that they're like that.
Well, at least Foxy's not betting like 3rd League Peru.
Cesar Vallejo. Gonna take a shot. All right. They're in 5th too, and they're playing 13th. That's crazy.
Why? What are they like? Plus, are they even money?
No, they're plus 600. I got them at plus 600. I got
Cesar Vallejo is plus 600, and they're 5th in the league.
That's right. I got him at 600. He got him at 650. I got him at 600. So on DraftKings, I just took him. I don't know what to tell.
Wait, what? But that I don't understand. That is somebody out.
Let me see.
Like that makes no sense. Well, I'm trying to look at it now, and Cesar Vallejo is actually a Peruvian poet.
Well, guess what? If they win today, here. One team gets in the playoff. Like they don't even show like the teams that get in. Yeah, they're Binacional has 20 points in 16 matches.
That's like
Vallejo has 32 and can go up into 3rd place with a win today.
So what? They're plus 600 because they're on the road. That just doesn't.
Binacional has a plus 5 goal difference though with 20 points. That's interesting.
A plus 5 goal difference, really?
Mm-hmm. They lost to Lima 2-0 the other day. They won at home. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not bad at home.
I guess Vallejo only has they have a -6 goal differential on the road. That's why they're plus 600.
Yeah. Binacional is very good at home too. What the hell? I'll take them. I might have just thrown $50 away, but whatever. It'll come from all the wins ahead this weekend. Yeah. Other than that, there's the football game tonight. I don't know if you are 8.5 seems like it's ridiculously high to be honest.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch this like absolute beauty of a primetime match.
Yeah.
60 points coming in this match.
Yeah, This is going to be, I don't know. I think this is, I think it's a little bit too high, to be honest. For 8.5 seems high, but I have the Patriots in the money line. I have the Patriots, Sassuolo, and West Ham in a bet today.
You know what? I'm tempted to take the over in that football game because the total's only 40.5. And, I don't know if it's going to be as lopsided as the books want you to think. Because, the Patriots have looked great with Zappy, but look at who they played the last 2 weeks, the Browns and the Lions. Honestly, those are not good teams at all. Even the Browns suck. You can say that all the things you want about their defense. The defense hasn't been there really this year. And, Chicago's the kind of team where, look at the way they played the Vikings. Look at the way they played the Giants, man. They're not great, but they hang around. Okay, I know it was a 12-7 game against Washington.
I think it's too many points. It's a primetime game. I just think it's too many points. I agree with that. I think the Bears will score a little bit.
But yeah, I think that's what I mean, right? I think they can hang around, and I think 20 points for each team should be pretty easy here. Actually, I think.
What happened in that Panthers game? Tampa were heavy favorites. I just think that the Panthers. I just think the NFL is the hardest thing. This is the hardest NFL I've ever seen to bet.
I said take the plus 13.
You did say that. Yeah, look, and the Panthers, the Packers stink. These guys are old. They got old quarterbacks. Who knows what's going to happen with this?
You know what the Bucs' problem is? And I want Foxy to confirm this for me, but Giselle, Tom Brady's, soon-to-be ex-wife, she's an ordained witch in Brazil. Apparently it's a thing. And Foxy, you can confirm because you live in South America, but apparently it's a thing. You can become an ordained witch. And Giselle put a hex on him this year, I'm telling you. When he unretired, Giselle put the hex. She was the one. He won those Super Bowls because of her energy. She'd always do these rituals before his games and stuff and being there. And I'm telling you, that energy's gone. Look at the way he's playing. Tom Brady himself is 160 pounds this year. I don't know. I'm watching commercials about the World Cup where he's eating celery and calling Ronaldo old. Buddy, you're 45 years old and you're way too light to even be playing in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I have the NFL is really, really tough to bet this year. I mean, this game Thursday night, the Ravens and Bucks. It should be the Ravens should be better. They're not. The Broncos stink. The Broncos and Jaguars, that's a London game. That's why.
No, I think that's a Munich game, isn't it?
Is it Munich?
They're having one in Munich. I've been wondering when it is, though. I totally forget.
London.
It's the London. Okay, I'm curious what the Munich game is then. I know they're having one. Roger Goodell was even talking about putting a division in England, 4 NFL teams in England.
Really?
And he wants to have an England division, somewhere years down the line. And I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Here's the thing: when they figure out these the jets that are hypersonic and stuff like this, and it takes 2 hours to cross the Atlantic, it's then. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal to fly over there and whatever, but you can't really do it right now. It's too, I don't know. You could have a world league or something like this, but you can't do it now. You got to have better, we need aliens to come down and give us hypersonic travel or something like teleportations. We just teleport or something like this. Then we could do it, but you can't do it right now. The basketball, I don't even know. There's
going to be 2 Munich games in December. It's the Panthers, Chiefs, and New England, Tampa Bay, I guess.
Wow.
Is what I'm hearing. This is in December. And then Frankfurt's going to get some games next year. I don't mind having the one neutral site game because now that you've added the extra game to the season, it's kind of not fair if you have one team playing 9 home games and other teams playing 9 road games. So I think it's okay, but they should make it where every team has 8 home games, 8 away games, and then 1 neutral site game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's actually a better way to do it.
Because then you take away that fairness, right? Because what if a team makes it into the playoffs in a wild card at 9-8?
Oh
They had
no,
9 home games.
it's November 13th and November 21st, so it's coming up. It's coming up soon here.
I don't know what the hell I was reading.
Yeah, and it's Seattle and Tampa Bay, San Francisco, for Arizona. That's actually a pretty. Oh no, San Francisco and Arizona is in Mexico City.
And you know what? That makes no sense to me because I read a stat. This was like a few years ago, but I highly doubt it's changed much. Do you know what the most followed NFL team in Mexico is?
Dallas.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
They have something like 30 million fans in Mexico. It's actually crazy. I was in Mexico when I found out that stat. I was like, wow. And they never send the Steelers down to Azteca Stadium or whatever. There it is, Estadio Azteca. There you go. They never send the Steelers down there, and they would probably sell the game out, man. They're like, the Mexicans love the Steelers. I don't know why they have so many fans for Pittsburgh, but
right, because right when they were starting to televise all this stuff, the Steelers started. That's when they were starting to get good. That happens like a lot with why there's so many Manchester United fans and stuff. Now all the kids are City fans because they're all front line. Brady should never have divorced that beautiful witch. Only downhill from here for him. Yes.
She's a witch. See, Foxy, I'm going to take that as confirmation. She's an ordained witch, man. She put a hex on him this year. Like, you lost to the Steelers and the Panthers, two of the worst teams in the league. It doesn't get any lower than that if you want to talk low points.
Yeah, that's bad news. All right, so just quickly want to go through these games for tomorrow and Wednesday, the Champions League. We're gonna wait to make the picks. Just kind of quick looks at them. The two games tomorrow and early are massive games. Red Bull Salzburg, Chelsea, and Sevilla Copenhagen. Look, we talked about this. Most of these games now are big. When you look at the standings, Napoli has a chance to win the group. Liverpool plays Ajax. Napoli's going to play Rangers, and the crazy thing for Napoli, I guess, is after they beat Rangers 6-0, they'll have they'll have 23 goals for and 4 goals against, so their goal difference will be crazy 17, 19, 20 with 15 points, and they still might not have won the group because Liverpool, if they beat Liverpool has to beat Ajax Napoli convincingly because Napoli already beat Liverpool 4-1. But that could happen. Bruges is playing Porto. I mean, that's a massive game, and then Madrid is playing Leverkusen, which is also a big game because if Bruges wins, Bruges is already through because they have the tiebreaker over Madrid. So Bruges is trying to win the group now. Bayern plays Barcelona. And the game really, to be honest, doesn't mean much because Inter's going to beat Pilsen, right? And if Inter beat Pilsen, Bayern's into the Europa League, which is absolutely crazy. Tottenham, Marseille, Sporting, that whole group is crazy. Frankfurt, Chelsea, Salzburg, they 7-6. Milan and Zagreb both on 4. Foxy, Sevilla have been horrible. They have been, Foxy, but they have a new coach, and I feel like they've been playing better.
Better on the defensive side. They're still not scoring, but they're definitely better on the defensive side. Like Real Madrid, you could take that one out of there. Like they didn't stand a chance against Real Madrid.
Yes, yeah, they've been playing a lot of draws. Since that guy's gone, the odds on Copenhagen are plus 750. Copenhagen or draw is pretty good as well. If it's things ever loads.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about taking plus the half, I would just take the shot on the draw in this match because I don't think Copenhagen's going to win with the way Sevilla is playing defensively now under their new manager, but at the same time, like I could see Sevilla struggling to score still at home here, and it could end up being 0-0 or 1-1 like it was in the previous leg.
Yeah, definitely. And you see, City, Dortmund. That draw at Copenhagen wasn't, that big. Sorry, Real Madrid on 10 points. Madrid plays.
They play Leipzig this week in Leipzig, I believe.
Yeah, which is a big game because the other game then is Celtic and why is this not loading? Celtic and Shakhtar. Shakhtar's in this group. I mean, Shakhtar has a chance here. They're playing. And the crazy thing is, Celtic is minus 124 at home. I guess Celtic could stay alive if they technically, because I think they play Madrid next. So
this game's bigger for Leipzig, I would think, the Leipzig Real Madrid, because like you said, they got Shakhtar putting the pressure on them in the group. And even if Madrid were to take nobody to Germany, lose that match outright, they get to play Celtic at home in the last match day, and a win, just 3 more points, gives them number 1 seed in the group.
Yeah, so they'll be fine. I think the Shakhtar team, if Shakhtar goes like Chris Lyons, what's your best bet? Today, Chris, Sassuolo money line probably.
Or not a big bet. Small play.
Bet though, play it, don't take it big. Or obviously West Ham should win, but I don't know if they'll cover the -1. Maybe West Ham. Let's see what their -1.5, or see what their
I don't like how West Ham's playing on a Monday. I get they play on Thursday, and they're probably going to bring nobody to the Conference League because they have, 12 points already after 4 matches. But, it bugs me that they would make them play on the Monday just because they have a Thursday match.
Yeah, the Premier League doesn't help these teams out that much. I mean, it's just embarrassing a little bit because you see all these other teams playing on Fridays and stuff and moving this stuff around.
Or, in the Czech Republic, they postponed Dynamo Zagreb's match in the league because they want them to advance in Champions League, try to give them, the best chance. That's representing your country, basically.
Yep. It's crazy.
Try to get more bids.
These Tuesday lines, Shakhtar +325 at Celtic. I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow, but +102 for draw and that. So I just don't understand what this does.
And, as good as they are in their league, it shows you the strength of the Scottish league, because what are 2 0-4 teams in the Champions League right now? You got Celtic and Rangers. Well, I guess Celtic has a point, but still,
yeah, they're not haven't been great.
1 point between the 2 teams in 8 matches.
Milan's, your team, Milan at Zagreb, -134. PSG -11-15. Leipzig, Real Madrid at +140. If you're giving me Real Madrid at +140, I'm going to take them all the time. Shakhtar league postponed so they can, exactly.
There you go.
They never do that stuff.
And the Ukraine league's already been postponed how many games too, so they don't care. They're like, give us your best shot in Champions League. We want you to go to at least Europa or figure it out, beat Leipzig. You know what I mean?
I gave him Sassuolo money line, Chris. Serie A plus at 245. Once again, it's not a great card today. I would go light on it. The only other game really West Ham, but the line is a little bit too high. We talked about maybe Besiktas, but then Foxy said Besiktas, but Amedeus said stay away from that game. There's really not a lot of games here. Foxy gave out a +600 game down in Peru. Maybe small bet on that as well. Back up in the thing, Cesar Vallejo. So
But yeah, Chris, if you're looking to go big, save your money for tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
This is match day 5 in Champions League. There's going to be value to be had tomorrow.
This Benfica Juventus game tomorrow, like I just don't understand the odds here. Benfica's at home and it's basically even money. And Juventus hasn't been very good. I thought
Missing Dybala.
I thought this game would be a little closer to minus 130 or something like this, but I'm not going to complain. Benfica is good. Did they beat Porto?
They beat Porto 1-0 with a 70th minute goal. They played with a man up like for 70 minutes, and they still needed time. But Porto's a pretty good team, and I doubt Benfica was really like trying their hardest in that match, especially with the red card, because they knew they had to play this Juventus, and if they beat Juventus here at home, they basically won the group.
Benfica hasn't lost this year. That's the crazy thing.
They've won every home match. The only one that they wasn't a win was a tie, and it was with PSG. So I think that speaks volumes.
And Juventus hasn't been good. And
they just lost in Israel.
Yeah. Well, who does Juventus have next after them? PSG. So Juventus isn't going through.
And Dybala's out, so you're getting like Malik and Vlahovic as your two strikers.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that game tomorrow. But if you're trying to put, I would say this: if you're trying to put these bets in now before the lines move, I would target Benfica, maybe Manchester City. I don't know. I like Milan. I don't know what you think about that.
I'm not touching them because they're my team, but I agree. This is like Milan's gonna put everything out on the table here because they could be in second place with a win here, or they're not going through if they give Zagreb a result. So like this is one where if Milan is really as good a team and the defending Serie A champions, like they want to believe that they are, they need to bring their best effort in this one. I don't care it's in another country. Come to play because you're the better team and you beat them 3-1 at home last time.
I agree. I personally think they win.
I do too, but I don't want to bet on it because they hate me. I love them, but they hate me, and isn't that the trade-off as a sports fan? Okay, you love United, but they hate you sometimes.
I did win on them this weekend though. I took United. How about this for a bet? I had United or draw, Fulham money line.
Oh man, I wanted to take Fulham so bad, but I was scared.
You know what? They're very good.
They're damn good, especially with Mitrovic back. It's like, man, we'll just outscore you. Who cares about our bad defense?
Fulham or draw. Man United, Fulham money line plus 260. Man United or draw, and Real Madrid money line paid 7-1.
Wow.
So I hit that for about 400. So just because Fulham, but I cashed out. It was 3-1, and I cashed out. My buddy's breaking my balls. The cash out was 396 in the 87th minute, and the total bet would have paid 405. So like $9.
That's nothing.
He's like, why are you cashing out? I'm like, it's $9, and then Leeds scored, so it's 3-2.
Yes.
So like, then you're getting worried. You could think, I'm never like, this is just more strategy. I'm never worried about $9 or $10 or something like that. Like I'll cash out in the 80th minute.
Yeah, no, that's nothing. Like, come on, it's $9. You're talking about 400 in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Foxy did some NBA bet builder bets. He lost all 5. I lost 5 all by one thing. So points. He lost all.
Hey, Foxy, if you bet Jared Vanderbilt over rebounds on Friday, it cashed. I know he got 8 and it was 7.5. I know it, man. Rudy Gobert. I was going to give you Rudy Gobert over 13.5. Guy had 14 rebounds in the first half. Jesus, man. He just stands on the net and gobbles.
I'll say this, Foxy, and I was never a big NBA guy, but the last year and a half, I started following some people that are look good with this stuff. That you can make a lot of money on those things. And you're just specifically looking for games that are going to be close because players are going to play hard and stuff like this. But there's certain ways you could do it. So, it's interesting. I think you can kind of make some money on the NBA more so, and because in college basketball they don't have that as much. I don't even think they have any props at all, to be honest. But
no, I know they have them in college football, but like the selection is way slimmer than it is NFL.
Yeah. Warriors lost, Suns lost, Zion low points, Gobert low points. Murray Atlanta needed 1.5 points more for him. Yeah, I will say, like, you're watching these NBA games sometimes. Like a couple of times I had like Tyrese Maxey last year, like 16 points, and he's like 15 points in like the second minute of the third quarter. You're like, I got this. And it's 15.
And they sub them off, and you're
3
like,
minutes left in the fourth round. I'm like, what the hell, man? Stop giving the ball. Shoot the ball, man. Go to the basket. But there's a lot of those that like hit by like a half a point or miss by a point. But I don't really the games. It's tough. Some of these games are tough to bet. I think, and NFL now as well, I think it's easier to win some of these props than it is. Last night I had Tyreek Hill. There was a boost. Tyreek Hill over 50 yards receiving, Steph Curry over 20 points was plus 100 on thing that you can't bet $1 million on it. The max is 25 for some, and some is 50. But like it's free $25, it's free $50. So like, whatever, then you turn that, then if you hit a parlay with that, 50, say that $25 turns into that parlay I did, and then that turns into 400, which turns into whatever. So which turns into my new washing machine or something like this when it breaks.
A new washing machine. Let's go. Here, I got a prop play for Foxy tonight in the NFL. Take Ramondre Stevenson anytime touchdown at even money. If Belichick is truly as good a coach as he really is, then Mac Jones is not getting his job back, and neither is Damian Harris. This team is better off with Stevenson and the Zappy combo.
Yeah, yep. There you go. Ramondre Stevenson right here. Yep. All right, so that's the show for today. If you have any questions, our Twitter is here. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Follow Joe Wiz if he's not busting my balls today. And go to get your picks at Big Al and the other site.
Pick Advisor. And make sure you go to Winners and Winers for Sean's plays. Let's go. You want Chris Lyons, if you want the best bet today, go to those 3 sites and you'll find them.
Let me see if I sold any this week. Subscriptions, sales reports. Oh, look at that. Somebody paid for my NBA best bet on yesterday, and it won. How about
there you go.
Soccer monthly subscription. I guess I got to pick a game there today. Pick West Ham. Take West Ham, I think, on the money line. If you're saying it's not a greatest play, but I do like Sassuolo, though. Take Sassuolo. But once again, if you're betting today, don't go crazy. Save your money for tomorrow. There's a lot better games tomorrow. A lot better value tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. There's 32 games, so save your money. All right, we will be back tomorrow, same time, and with all kinds of Champions League stuff. So, see you tomorrow.